It is a very, very good evening. My name is Likuyani Eli, and you're watching Art in Heart. Tonight, we seek to establish why is it becoming a common trend for Black Africans to feel like their skin being lighter. It's more interesting. To help me circumnavigate through this, I have a guest on board, and I also have my panelist, resident panelist. First, allow me to bring in Noreen Ambata. Good evening, Noreen.
Good evening, Ellie. Thank you
How
so
are you
much.
doing tonight?
I'm very fine. I'm doing
Wewe,
great.
wewe ni rangi ya thao ama wewe ni rangi ya kawaida?
Itu ni ya kawaida. Itu ni ya kawaida. Itu ni ya
Great,
kawaida.
great, great. We'll be discovering more about that as we go ahead. And we also have Victoria Nkatha, who is joining us from Denmark. Good evening, Victoria.
Good evening, Ellie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
I can tell you're ready for the show based on your
Yes.
colors.
Yes, I am.
So, what do you think about tonight's topic?
Tonight's topic, well, it's very, very interesting, not only for Black Africans in terms of why other people feel that their skin is better, but even within ourselves, why is it that we're preferring lighter skin? And as you rightfully put it, Rangiethao, there's so many people who want prefer Mademo Rangiethao, and for those who don't understand, it's 1,000 Kenya shilling note that is usually very much lighter, and of course it's the most valuable note that we have in Kenya. So a
Great,
lot of people
great,
prefer
great.
that.
Thank you so much, Victoria. We'll be diving into much more, but now it is the moment. Allow me to bring in my co-host before she brings us the guest of the night. Good evening, Nyanduko, and how are you tonight?
Good evening, Ellie. Good evening, Victoria. Good evening, Noreen, and everyone who's watching. It's going to be a beautiful show, and it is not a crime to be light skinned. just putting it out there. Yeah, so it's going to be a beautiful show, and we have someone on board to help us through the psychological aspect of it. So we're going to welcome our guest, and she will introduce herself.
Thank you so much. I think we have Sada with us. Good evening, Sada. How are you tonight?
Good evening. How are all of you?
We are doing well. How about yourself, and where are you coming from?
So I'm coming from Winnipeg. It's -20 today. Better weather, I can say.
I can tell because of the look that you're having. I think it's not that cold, -20.
Oh yeah.
Great, great, great. So let's keep the ball rolling. And of course, I'm being informed, Sada, you are a PhD candidate, microbiology, or what is it again?
Yes. So I am a medical microbiologist and an epidemiologist.
Okay, fine. Let's find out if you can tell us about how this disease called skin lightening is getting into our heads moving forward. So I bring Nyanduko, who will kickstart with the show tonight. Back to you, Nyanduko.
Now, when you talk about colorism, it is different from racism. Now, colorism is the aspect of preferring lighter skin as compared to the darker African skin that we are used to. Now, this is very evident in all our, in the showbiz, for example, the entertainment industry. Lighter skinned chicks, females are viewed as prettier as compared to darker skinned girls. And it is not actually true. It does not mean that light skinned chicks are not pretty. It actually means that all skin is beautiful. And the fact that we've just put so much, we've praised the light skin too much, that we're forcing younger people, that we're making people decide to change their skin color, that is, lighten their skin so as to fit societal standards of beauty, is where we are at right now. And the levels of people, the rates at which people are bleaching are getting higher and higher by day, because society has said what should be beautiful and what is not beautiful. So we are here to understand that all skin is beautiful, and We don't have to say someone is beautiful based on what color their skin is. Yeah, I think that is basically where I'm gonna talk about tonight.
Great, awesome. Noreen, what is your perspective of the topic of the night, and where do you want us to go moving forward?
Thank you. About today's topic, we put ourselves in a place whereby we are looking at uh, people who have light skin to be to be more visible, and they look like such important people. Like we just want to be like them. Like the people who have black skin really want to fit in that white bracket, or the bracket that we call wale wa supu, wale rangi ya tao, wale wa kuonekana kwa screens. So um, looking at this, I feel like we are in a position that, or we should be in a position whereby we need to accept and appreciate our skin color the way it is. There is no need for us to rush into changing our skin color because we want to fit in a certain group. We want to be like someone else. As we continue, I know we are going to discuss more about this. We're going to look at the psychological effects that comes with this. We're going to look at the reasons why women or ladies would want to bleach themselves and many others. So let me bring it back to Ellie.
Okay, thank you so much, Noreen, and I appreciate how you're gonna bring it. So back to you, Sada, because you seem to be the one who is coming to us from diaspora. What has been your experience when you talk about colorism, and how does it actually tend to shape how you look at things from abroad?
Um, Colorism, it actually makes you feel inferior, especially how the society tends to treat people with color, who have color. They tend to automatically look down upon you, just even right before getting to know who you are, what you do. So you receive some form of judgment. You tend to feel like, I don't belong here. And yet, we do have so many people of color, right, Africans, African American, who make huge contributions in science, in IT. We've seen them make huge contributions in academia. Yet when it comes to the point of attaining, like getting, you get disparities from work. Sometimes it's judgmental. Sometimes it's even how resources are distributed. So it tends to affect students a lot, because you travel somewhere, you're by yourself, you still don't know like your community, but then you get into this, your first landing is such a cold environment that it affects you mentally and even your physical self, because you feel you always need to work extra hard, despite the good things you're doing. You always feel like you need to work extra hard to try and make the bar.
Exactly. And that's where our conversation is going to head as we discuss colorism from a wider perspective. Victoria and Katha, you are a champion for believing in oneself. Where do you take us with this conversation?
I mean, it's very, very important. Here I am coming with all the energy because, guys, come on. I know we're talking about something that is very, very deep, but looking at it, we're trying to be here and find a solution towards it and be able to encourage people to love themselves. Now, loving yourself needs to come from within. And also, I understand that sometimes it's easier said than done, to be honest, because you have so many influential factors, especially on social media, going onto social media, and you see that people people have filters making them lighter skin, even though they're dark. People go to really extra lengths to seem as if they're lighter, or people even put on makeup that doesn't look like themselves. You see here and here do not look alike, they do not match. Or you see somebody's feet and their hands and their, you see people having weird knuckles and so on and so forth, simply because people are going to extra lengths, simply because society, people, and back, it dates so far back in terms of lighter being better. You have rangiatao, you have all these terms, and subconsciously we actually contribute a lot towards colorism. We contribute so much. You see, the people who are in movies, even in our countries, the lead role is the lead, beautiful, desired individual is the lighter skinned person. You see, the funny best friend is the darker skinned girl. You see, the pretty boy is the lighter boy with the curly hair, or the lighter skinned boy. And you see, the villain or the bad boy, the gangster, or the one who's going to prison is a darker skinned boy. We are contributing towards all these things. The lighter skinned socialites are the ones who have the millions of followers, and they're the desirable ones. They're the ones getting the gigs. I mean, come on. And now is when we're getting to a point of trying to build up the self-esteem of the darker skins. We're singing about the brown skin. And why is it that we've actually gotten to this point? Why is it so important for us now to start singing about the brown skin?
You tell me, why is it becoming important, especially now? And I know for those who are not aware, in the US and Canada, it's a how you call it again? A Black History
Black
Month?
History Month. Yes,
Yes,
it is.
yes. We have the Black History Month that is being celebrated from February towards and beginning of March. I suppose that is
No,
February
it's
2nd.
February. It's February.
Yes.
February is Black History Month.
Exactly, and as we celebrate that, it brings home a lot of issues to be discussed. Why, in the first place, will a beautiful black woman bleach? We've heard stories of people like what is her name? Somebody Achieng, Bridget Achieng, for example. That's a beautiful black Kenyan lady, but could this be because of how black is perceived in the first place, Noreen?
There are so many reasons why Black Africans would want to bleach. One of the main reasons is some of them really want to grab attraction and attention to people who are, to the successful men or mates around them. So they see themselves like, if they maintain their skin color as black, like they'll not get the best man or that successful man that they really want to spend the rest of their lives with, you know. And that is why hata sometimes mtu akipita kama wewe ni dem mweupe, hiyo rangi ya tao, like, ile ya mali safi, like, people will always want to be associated with clean things. And that is why ladies feel like bleaching inakufanya like you feel like you are smart, you feel like you're clean, so kind of itakufanya you feel like the confidence is a bit high, it it boosts your confidence. So that is what most ladies think. Then at some point they also want to fit in the group, they also want to impress their peers. That is what I'm getting to learn. Because if I'm black and maybe your friends or the group of ladies that you associate with, they are light skinned, you'll always want to fit there. And you'll do everything that you can to make sure that you are in that peer group, like you fit in ile like chali akikuja aone nyi wote anasema hata sijui naenda na nani, because nyi wote ni rangi ya tao. So that is what I feel most ladies would really want to do this bleaching thing and just do away with the black skin, and they just want that ile tu kukuwa associated na baze mi ni mpoa, like then kuna ile part yenye people feel like, okay, these white people, like not white people, sorry, the white, no, why am I using white? The
Lighter.
yes, the lighter people wanaona ni kama hao ndio bright, like wakisimama hapo hao ndio kusema, and people forget dark skinned people, they're very bright for me, like ni watu wenye like hiyo weusi na feature brightness yao inside them, like their brain, they're really working, but watu wanaona mi nikiwa hivi ndio nitapata a certain respect, I'll get a certain position, and that is the main reason why people will really want to go to the other side, forgetting that they're beautiful and they're very important from the position that they are at the moment. That is what I feel like.
Already there,
Mhm.
I have a few things to pick on what you said. Yeah, Noreen, in terms of why lighter skin is viewed as cleaner, you see, we have this connotation of white is clean, white is snow, white is pure, white is beautiful, while as black is usually placed on uncleanliness, dirty, ugly, and so on and so forth. Remember, even I know that we're going to talk about this. Remember how there was a test with Kenneth and Mommy Clark, who tested on kids, where they asked the kid which doll is ugly, and they pointed on the dark doll. Which doll is beautiful? They pointed on the white doll, and some of them were asked, why is it that you say this? And these kids, young kids, because in society we've made it seem as if we are black is a bad color. You see how kids at home, your parents tell you, when mweusi kama, you're black like charcoal, because charcoal is considered a very bad thing, and the least of the least. You understand? I mean, it's crazy, because it stems from a lot. It really stems from a lot. And already there, where you said that somebody wants to go to the other side, why is there the distinction between this side and that side? We've already created that contrast between black and light, or rather dark and light. And it seems like even from day beginning, we have and there was light is good, light is this and that, light makes us see, while darkness is people get scared of the dark, and this has spoiled over to individuals.
Then
It's crazy, to be honest.
in addition to that, I also feel like, okay, it is something that happens even back at home when you are married and your husband, for instance, ni mweusi, and now you as a lady ni mweupe. When the baby, or when the child does anything wrong, utasikia mamake akisema, we kwenda huko mweusi kama baba yako. Like they really want to. I'm really supporting the point of associating the black, the dark color, with bad things, and that is why this man or this husband has an issue with the lady, or the lady has an issue with the guy. So kitu tu itafanya like ajaribu kumattack is through the kid, kumwambia kwenda huko mweusi ka babako. And now this lady is saying that knowing that babake anasikia, and now hiyo ni matusi, already ameshamu associate with something that it's really bad, like it makes black look really bad. So I am really in support of what you're saying about associating black with bad things.
Let me bring in Sada, and of course, I will also bring in Nyanduko to just take us forward. Sada, from where you sit, we have understood that we have situations where parents, Black African parents, compare their not so calm children with the ugliness, quote unquote, of their dads. At a young age, what does this instill into a kid?
I think this instills, it actually first lowers the self-esteem. So the child tends to think, oh, because I'm dark, I can't do this, yet they haven't tried, till you try, it's when you can um, tell how good you're at something or how bad you are at something. So I think parents actually just do a very big mistake when you just say mweusi kama makaa, angalia unakaa kama baba yako, mweusi kama baba yako. um, it you need for you your child or your child in the future is basically a reflection of what you instill in them. Like I personally come from a family where we are kind of split in the middle. I am dark, the rest of my sisters are very light, and my mom. But at home, when we were growing up, we were all put on a level plane. I actually realized that there's a term I realized when I went to school, like about when I was in class 2. Ndo nilikuja nikajua ati black is untidy and brown is beautiful. So
Wow.
when that came to me, and I went to my mom and I said, oh, someone told me that I'm black and I'm untidy, but brown is beautiful. And they asked me why I'm not as light as my sisters. So the talk or the conversation that came up with my mom from then, it actually, she instilled into me, you are not your color. Just like the song, I am not my hair, you are not your color. What you decide to do, you can do as long as you have the will to do it. And you have the perseverance to go through the challenges that you want to go through. And I'd say what the parents tell the children actually play a big role in either making them successful or failures.
Okay, that's a very interesting perspective. Victoria and Katha, I want us to go deeper into this discussion, even as we look at where do they get their bleaching products from. I'm well informed that bleaching products are actually not supposed to be used in the Kenyan market. But we
Exactly.
realize that they are still being sold in the market. How on heaven do these things arrive there? And I'm going to ask
River
Sada
Road.
because she works a lot with the laboratories. Probably she has a clue. So let's take it over to you, Victoria. Twende kazi.
Inaitangwa River Roads, guys. River Roads. That is what it's called. River Roads. People,
River
am I
Road.
shouting? Am I shouting? No. Thing is, there's so many ways to get it. And I don't know if you know about certain creams such as Carolite. It's hidden in so many ways. Let me tell you, I went to somebody's house, a guy's house, and he had Carolite on his bathroom. And I looked at him and I was like, do you know that this is a bleaching product? And he said, yes, I know. But if you look at someone else, they don't know that it's a bleaching product. They just think it's a lotion and so on and so forth until you actually see the what's it called? The ingredients and so on and so forth. There's so many of them that are hidden in lotions, in scrubs, especially scrubs kwanza. You see how people scrub their skin, yeah? I have this individual in not I have, gosh. I know this individual in Nigeria, and they actually do these scrubs that actually take off, quote unquote, take off your blackness, yeah?
Yep.
And these things are hidden in these things if you're not very careful, and that's why people are very, very adamant on buying natural products and checking ingredients, because most of us have realized that so many things are hidden in these lotions and creams and so on and so forth. And once people realize this, they actually buy these products. Some of them are smuggled into the country. You have individuals who, for example, go to countries where these things are sold. And then when you come to declare, people say that they don't have anything to declare. And you see that they get into the country with these products. Most of the African countries actually have made bleaching products illegal. However, as we know, people will still find a way to put it in under lotions, under creams, under scrubs, and so on and so forth. And it really is frustrating because it's going to our young people, it's going to people who are not even understanding the effects of the things that they are putting on their skin. And it's really detrimental towards our society, honestly.
Yeah, detrimental to our society. But I'm also informed this is not just happening among young people who are supposed to be ladies, it is actually crossing over to men. Nyanduko, have you ever met any man who has bleached, and what was your experience?
Interesting that you asked, because I met one today, and
Okay.
it is not good to judge people, but looking at this person, and he actually looked like he was struggling with so much because he couldn't stay under the sun. He started getting all red. It was, I don't know, I honestly do not know his reasons for bleaching.
Mm-hmm.
But when men do it, especially Congolese men, uh, those sides have made it. Victoria is laughing because I've said Congolese men. They
She's
have
in love with Congolese men.
they have idolized light skin. They have they when you're light in Congo, you are beautiful, you're handsome. Yeah, and even in Uganda, uh, it was bad in Uganda that the lightening products had to be banned, because now when a man bleaches, it I honestly do not understand the psychology behind it, but it's just mostly it's the musicians who bleach. I saw a video that the Owen and some, I think, Congolese guy. I was watching it yesterday,
Yeah.
and this guy is literally white on the face, white, and then the neck. Those people when they do like this, you think someone has kidnapped them. You're like,
Yeah.
what? I honestly do not know why men get to that point, but it could be for the same reasons as the women. But the majority of people that bleach are actually women, and it's because society. I know I was supposed to speak at some point, and then I disappeared. My internet was playing games now, but society has made it their work to remind girls always that light is beautiful. Who are on the advertisements, the mafuta, it's the light girls. What do people sing about? It's the light girls. Until Sauti Sol came and sang about melanin so dark, and and people still not embracing the melanin, and you'll find a light skinned person, someone lighter than me, saying melanin popping. Which melanin? And we have our celebrities. Who have we idolized actually? The socialites. How do they look? They're light skinned. And then you want to come and tell a girl in the village that light skin is not beautiful. They honestly have every reason to believe that light is beautiful. So because the socialites are getting paid for it, they're in the limelight for it. Ivona Kwara is a media personality. The other day she was saying that it was actually very hard for her to get an anchoring position because she's a dark girl. We know people who got into the media industry when they were dark, and then you see them right now, and they're lighter than Nyanduko, and it's chaos. And society tells them you're beautiful. You look beautiful now. Vera said she feels beautiful now. Sometimes it actually speaks about your mental health more than your self-esteem and all other things. And before I speak up to forever, someone else should say something. I'll
You remember,
continue.
I have something to add on onto that. There's a BBC, actually, if you guys go onto BBC Africa, there's this documentary with Bridget Cheng, actually, and she speaks on why she actually chose to bleach her skin. And if you also go to Netflix, there's a movie called Skin, and this is, well, it's purely based in Nigeria for that movie, but it actually, Nigeria is one of the biggest markets for all these creams and so on and so forth. You go there, and I support the fact that you said that these individuals feel more beautiful now, because that is what we've made ourselves believe. Bridget Cheng actually went on and she stated that for her, she gets more clients now, she gets more traction now, she gets more attention now that she's lighter skin. Let me give you an instance. Look at Corazon, look at Vera Sidika and Huda, and both all three, and Bridget as well, all four were rose to fame at approximately the same time. Yes. And Corazon is dark skinned. Yes. And she also has the assets that these socialites all have, and so on and so forth. However, who's more famous? Vera, who did her skin, she calls it skin lightening, but it's bleaching. She calls she tries to put a nicer way of saying it. She bleached her skin, and she goes on and she's very famous. She has this luxurious life and so on and so forth. But look at Corazon. Where is Corazon? People do not follow Corazon because most probably because they don't consider her to be so beautiful as well. And it's really frustrating, because these are the things as young girls as well they're looking at, and they're seeing that we are over praising. I mean, these are beautiful people either way. Let's not get it wrong. They're all beautiful people. But when you look at how we are putting lighter skinned people on a pedestal, it actually comes in and it becomes a problem in terms of self-esteem, and going over even to psychological effects, which I won't discuss now but later. But it really makes you think. It really makes you sit down and think about what choices are we letting our young people do make, because we literally are going in and manipulating their minds to think, you know what, as Nyanduko said, I am not beautiful when I'm like this. I'm not good looking when I'm like this. I saw a comment before that said that when we now think about men, for instance, where men go in, where ladies are looking for men, they say tall, dark, and handsome. Now, I want to now go into that, to be honest. Ellie, permits me, I am about to ask a question aside from what you
Be my
have
guest.
planned properly. But now, looking at that, tall, dark, and handsome, they're not the pretty boys. But do you believe, or do you think that being tall, dark, and handsome, because of the I'm going to go into something different now, of the racial history on slavery, where black men were considered to have extra bag luggage with them, an extra leg? Does this contribute towards women preferring tall, dark, and handsome, whereas when we turn it around, they're not necessarily, we don't necessarily look at the handsome, because to be honest, we don't look at the handsome. I Let's just be real, because what we term as handsome and pretty, we call it pretty boy, right? So what do you think, how do you think in terms of this contrast, and what are the effects? And now going into something else, a bit more of where Sada wanted to go, how can we, how what do you think about this comment, and about what society in general is at the moment, Sada?
Okay.
So when it comes to how the society views color, I would say, I'd like to put it this way: it's more or less of kind of a colonial aspect, give or take. Like it's been instilled in us for ages, right? And getting out of it's gonna take time, right? This at this point is whereby we are trying to magnify how Black people are good. There's been a lot of racial injustices all over. When you look at what you just said, the men and the women, in terms of men, darker men being more associated more with the good type people want. I've heard of it here. It's because they talk about the extra baggage. So African men tend to be more popular. So I'd mostly say, I think it's more of the colonial aspect. Black is associated with muscles, manpower. right? Light is associated with weakness. So I think colonialism also played a big role. Colonialism and slavery played a big role in shaping how people tend to think when it comes to men, how people tend to think in terms of strength, capabilities. So darker men tend to be popular than light men.
I want to actually take a little bit leave from what you're discussing when it comes to men, and for the darker skinned in that case, we've had a lot of times where they say huku mwanaume ni sura mbaya, lakini kazi tu ya nyumba ako sawa. And I mean, it's interesting because as Saddam mentioned earlier, and equally with Victoria, during the slavery time, when the slave traders were looking for slaves, they will actually look for those strong and tall. Even to the history of the military in Africa and around the world, it only became acceptable to be admitted to the military with a petite size not so long ago. But before, for those who wanted to be recruited, there was this height that was being looked after. And if you were having an quote unquote a pretty boy face, you didn't belong to the military. The same thing actually happened when it comes to ladies. Look, for example, when we have to talk about football, and this is sports, we didn't have the so-called pretty girls playing football. And the discrimination goes way and way beyond just the normal superficial things we look at. And that's why let's take a bit of the comments from the comment section. And then when we come back, we want to go further into these products that are that young boys and girls are buying, putting on their skins, and the effects, medical effects they have on us. So Victoria and Nyanduko, kindly take us to the comment section. And yes,
Great.
let's
And
have it.
teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. I will show them, you read them, yeah? So we are just going to start here.
I think you are being unfair to Nyanduko because
Now,
she doesn't
but
have her
then Victoria,
glasses.
you're being unfair to
Oh,
me.
okay. I am sorry. I will just take them. I'm sorry.
You can do this with Noreen for now.
Okay, Nori.
And Sada has equally
Mm,
4 eyes, so it's okay.
okay.
Nori, you ready?
Omwi Gitau, most girls they do it to look beautiful, which is nonsense issue. Pretty skin is not only the light skin. That is from Mamboi. Then Susie says, why do I have to bleach surely? Wanipende tu nilivyo, it's true. Wakupende tu venye uko. Again, she says, especially Carolite versus Medivan, too bad. Hizo combination huko River Road zinafanywa mkorogo. Then Rhoda, I can't imagine bleaching. Then I look like a pointy. Then I give birth to a dark skinned kid. Then Susan Mutai, the side effect is overwhelming and not worth it. The chemicals used, especially those who get vaccinated every 6 months to maintain the color, is pathetic. It fades with time, making young girls look older than their age, and eventually leads to premature deaths to the weak ones. That is very true. And Kyoko, I work in an NGO as the only black person. Never been tempted to bleach. My Africanness is an asset. Ooh. Wambui Gitau, colorism is a barbaric thing. Most who do it are still enslaved by Western minds, and they are still colonized for mind. Their minds are still colonized.
And we are done with the comments. So just to bring back what Ellie had mentioned in terms of the side effects of the bleaching creams, Nyantuko, tafadhali tupeleke sasa River Road. Take us to River Road, honey.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with when I joined campus in first year, I met this very dark, pretty girl. She was very pretty, you know. And then first year, she was in our class, first year, and beginning of second year, she started looking different, you know, light and all. She started wearing wigs, and her skin color was all nice, and it was, you know, getting lighter by the day. Now, another friend of ours asked her, "Hey, Connie, what did you do?" And she took that friend of ours to where she bought them korogo at River. This our friend also came back and tried. Now it was like a collection of our friends who were, it was like it was becoming a trend. And this friend of ours made it her duty to remind, to tell you that, you know, you can look better. I'm not saying you don't look good, but you can look better. So it was, she was actually advocating for bleaching. Now, that is one case. The next case study was when I joined campus, I met a girl that I knew from high school. I didn't recognize her. I met her and I told her, "You really look like someone I know, but she is darker. She's dark, you're light." And she's like, "What do you mean? I'm the one." Guess how awkward that was? You know, it was very strange. So the product, and the worst bit is they're very cheap. They're very cheap, and any girl, any hustling girl, any, you know, any rich person, any, they're just too available, and everyone knows where they're found. That is the problem, because they're the ones who go for the high end skin lightening, and they're the ones who go for the bleaching, you know, them korogo, them korogo, and it's very brutal on the skin, you know, because once your korogo ishas, it goes with your color, it goes with your beauty. Tunarudi, like you become a slave to that particular place, because you have to maintain a certain look, you have to maintain a certain aspect of yourself, because now we introduce watu to a light skinned you, and then uh, I'm not gonna mention names, but I know an artist who is very light skinned. She's very beautiful and has a very dark skinned kid. And it is bad because these people are making their children get trolled. It is not good, because now someone will be like, "Why is the child looking like?" You know, even if it is not for yourself, at least for your child, man. Let us start embracing our color. And I know people are gonna say I'm saying this because, oh, I'm like, unajua ni kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. So on who you are, appreciate your color, and it starts from, yeah, mindset is everything. So before you come here and Victoria tells you to go to River Road, Ama, she sends you products from Denmark for you to come and change your skin color. Please just look at yourself in the mirror, affirm yourself. It starts from, you know, self, really, because if we all fell for the trend that was going on in campus at the time, everyone would have tried it. I have one other friend of ours tried, and only the ears got light. Anyway, someone someone else should talk.
I actually like what you said, but the thing is that they're actually DIY ways of making these skin things. It's mad. Sada, you work in the medical department. Before I start coming in with my, because I'm so passionate about this topic, I really am passionate and done a lot of research on this. But before I come in, please, with an expertise, whatever's, please, what are the side effects of skin bleaching, please?
In the past, like the past, let's say 15 years before skin bleaching was popular, you would notice that we did not have lots of skin cancer cases in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason. The reason behind that is because our melanin has a protective factor. In terms of the UV, it kind of protects us. That's why you don't necessarily need to have sunscreen when you're walking in Nairobi. You don't do that, right? But since we have now started, like we are disrupting the skin in the first place, trying to chip off the melanin, we have seen very high, an increase actually in the cases of skin cancer among Africans in the medical field. And a good, when you look at studies, a good deal of them, it's because someone used something that actually changed the way their skin was. So when you disrupt the skin is actually self-healing. But once you tend to have those products, they go, they disrupt the, I'm looking for an easier, like the structure, like they disrupt the structure of the skin. They make it more thin for you to become, that's why you see if someone has bleached and they're light, you can actually see their veins. If someone is naturally brown, you don't tend to see like their veins in it. So the chemicals actually reduce the thickness of your skin, which is dangerous. That is one in terms of cancer. And the second point to this is that the skin is the first barrier against infectious diseases. So on the skin, we do have bacteria in which we are supposed to live in harmony with, or what we call a symbiotic relationship. The bacteria is protective against infections. On the second thing is that we do have a certain kind of mucus. It's called mucin. You can't feel it, of course, when you touch your skin, but it is there, like microscopically, it is there. So these are fundamental components of your skin, and they're meant to protect you against infections. So you'd find that the moment you add, you have pakam korogo and all those things and scrub off your color, you're actually killing the bacteria. When you kill the bacteria and you kill the mucus and you kill other factors, like when you get a cut, your skin heals itself. That's a biological factor. And the cells are just on the skin. So the moment you add mkorogo, izo carolite, izo vitu, you're actually making yourself susceptible to infection. So you'd find in some cases when you have really bleached your skin, you get an accident, hautashonwa. Kwa sababu ukishonwa, it is also there's an elastic component of the skin. Ikivitwa pamoja, ukishonwa, it will actually tear. So in some cases, if you've done too much of it, the doctor will tell you, we cannot even pass a needle through because tukieka shindano, pali tumeka shindano, it's actually we're creating another tear. So you bring yourself so many issues. Yes, you look good. Yes, you'll tend to feel that you're more beautiful, but let's all try and think about the effects that may come into play in the future. It's futile when you cannot be stitched. Then it's going to be a painful process because your skin again will not heal at the same rate as it was meant to, because you have just destroyed it. And every part on our bodies actually plays a very important role when it comes to protecting you from infection. Yeah, that's my view.
And also, I learned that the fastest product of bleaching is through injection, and that's why most ladies akijisikia ni kama they really want it to happen like there and then, they would prefer to go for injection. And as you are saying, okay, injection is very dangerous because one, we do not know the chemicals that are used, and you will never be told the kind of chemicals that are used. So utenda tuko utadungwa sindano, and I think it goes for around, okay, I read somewhere it goes to around 15,000 shillings. So mtu atenda kutoa hiyo 15k because anataka an immediate bleaching within a few days, akwe already ako light skin. But now the long term effects, first thing wanasema, you're told that we are giving you this injection but iko na consequences, and that's where Sada is saying like haita heal haraka, especially with the injection. Unapata ukishadungwa hiyo sindano, like you'd rather use this mkorogo, though I'm not advocating for that. You'd rather go for mkorogo than going for the injection, because hiyo injection ndio inafanya skin yako inakuwa like ukidungwa sindano, or in case of accident, in case of any cuttings, it is not easy for you to get healed. And also it really contributes a lot to skin cancer. So guys, you should really be very careful, and leave alone the celebrities. In between happen, even here in Nairobi, you find very young girls that are very dark and beautiful, and yeah, they're beautiful, but because mtu ameingia kwa matatu and she meets a lady mwenye ako a bit lighter than her, then they really want to look like them. So she has the confidence of asking them ati unatumia product gani, akiwe ni msupu, can you tell me the kind of product that you're using? Then pap ameshapewa, mimi ni msupu, thank you so much, natumia hii na hii. So huyo mzee ameshakimbia, udem ameshakimbia, ameenda River Road, amepata the product. And guys, if you're watching this show tonight and you don't know about the mikorogo thing, you don't know about story na River Road, please, we are not asking you juu nataka kukua light skin, you go there. Please don't. Just remain the way you are, because we are trying to tell you the importance of not bleaching, because it is usually, like, it is so much healthy to remain the way you are than going into something that will cost you a lot. Like, you don't, like, are you going to work to save, like, are you saving money for hospital, or you're saving money to do greater, bigger and bigger things ahead? So hiyo pesa unapeleka huko, can you do something else? Like, ladies, I know, even guys do this. There's some guys, okay, about fire, I read somewhere the total number of, the number of guys on your River Road to a certain customer in River Road, they're around 5. Hiyo ni shop moja, and you do not know about other shops. So if you're a guy or a lady watching this show tonight, please save that money. Save that money. You are dark and handsome the way you are, dear man. And ladies, uko poa. So let us not get ourselves into something yenye we cannot sort at we cannot be able to deal with it when we are already in it, because once you've bleached, you can never go back.
You can never go back, Nori. I'm gonna hold you on that thought. We are going to go through a few more of the comments that we have, but right after this music break that we are featuring our artist of the month, because we had the month of February, very interesting month. If in case you missed our show last week, we had the Valentine's show, and we had the Eshuchi Lumumba, who did a very interesting number. Go find him on YouTube. The name is Eshuchi Lumumba, ESCHUCHI, Eshuchi Lumumba, and be sure to watch that piece. But we'll be right back after this short break. And remember, the program is Art in Heart. Tonight, we are discussing colorism, the effects of colorism, and this kind of segregation that is causing among ourselves as we try to achieve our inner built capacities as individuals and as a society. We want to discuss further and find out, where did it all begin? Is it just in history? Or is it a colonized mind? And if it's a colonized mind, how do we unchain ourselves? Just like Django Unchained talk about moving forward. Now, by the way, tuendele kupendana tulivyo. Jipende ulivyo, nipende nilivyo.
Ulitizama kitanda changu kimejaa kunguni, godoro inchi mbili, ukasema wanipenda. Simu yangu masekete, nguo zangu matambara, viatu vilivyochapishwa viraka, ukasema wanipenda kutoka ndani ya roho. Tulipoenda bafuni nawe, sabuni ya kipande, uzini wa gunia, ukasema ujali fanaka utoka kwa Mola. Sasa iweje leo hii nasikia fununu toka kwa rafiki zako kuwa wanipa talaka? Sasa iweje leo hii hadithi za kuaminika zaniambia mapenzi haya yamekuchosha? Sasa iweje leo hii naambiwa wasema umasikini wangu wewe umekuchosha? Ninachoomba baby, nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio kutoka kwa Mola. Baby, baby, ninachoomba mimi nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio kutoka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 oh. Sipendelei nikikuona watembea miguu wakati wenzio wako kwenye magari ya kifahari. Oh baby, mimi sipendelei. Unapokula sukuma siku 7 za wiki wakati wenzio wanajiburudisha na minofu kwenye mahoteli pia sipendelei. Ninakiri ni uwezo sina, nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende nilivyo. Eshuji zawadi ya fanaka hiyo toka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 ninachoomba nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende mimi nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 ninachoomba.
Yes, sorry about that. My name is by no chance Eshuchilumumba. My name is Likuyani Eli, and I do not sing. And if I do it in the bathroom. Welcome back. This is Art in Heart. We are discussing colorism as we look at the effects of colorism on our normal African skin. And why is it that it is becoming more and more demanding to actually tend to alter the look of our skin? We're discussing this with my panelists, as always, Victoria Nkata, Noreen, and tonight we have a special guest on board, Saddam Watela, who is interesting party tonight because she brings us the perspective from the medical industry. And of course, I have the beautiful Nyanduko Nyabuto on the screen. She's looking cute. Nyanduko, what have you been doing to your skin? You don't look anything like light. I like the black. Oh, I lost you.
What did you say?
I said I like the black on you. There's something miraculous about the black, and it's really working, including your blouse. And there's something, how do you call that, Victoria? I'm not so of a designer.
It's a brush.
Okay, that one, a brush. So let's get back into the discussion of the night. And we are discussing why young people, and of course at a wider range, they are adapting to changing the look of their skin by actually just bleaching as one of the options. And Nyanduko, you've probably heard these stories of when people go to the villages and everybody's coming home with their wives or their girlfriends. There are those ones that are meant to serve others, and there are those ones that are supposed to receive the guests. And if you look at the discrimination, most of the time, is rangi ya thao atakaribisha wageni. Ile rangi mbaya mbaya inawekwa jikoni, even at the family level. What do you say about this?
Now, let me take you back a little bit to primary school. When you had a visitor and someone important visiting your school, it was the bright kid and the beautiful kid, but mostly the beautiful kid who was welcoming the guest. And beautiful, I'm not saying beautiful as in the rest are not beautiful, I'm saying beautiful in terms of societal perspective of beauty. Now we have a setting where wacha unasema kukaribisha wageni, kuna kupika matumbo na kutengeneza salad. So,
Oh God, you had to remind me that's right.
So if you take your wife to the village and she's the kupika matumbo one, well, you know, so it is as much as tunaiangalia, where kikisi, the kisi in me is coming out. As much as we're looking at it from the national level, we can also look at it from a family setup. You know, you have, you even have siblings. When you have sisters, and you have the light skin sister, the capricious sister. Everyone wants to associate with them. When you post your siblings, I have people in my contact list who only post their light-skinned siblings. It is not. It is just deeply embedded in us that sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. And that is why we use Snapchat. I personally use Snapchat a lot because we use Snapchat not because it's just an app. We use Snapchat because we want to look lighter, because it puts your nose on a different angle, puts your mouth on. So we are creatures of habit, and these are things that have been going on over and over and over. And over time, we've actually come to terms with it. We've made it normal. And also, let us not forget, there's also an association of being light-skinned and being dumb. Now, society has usually called the light-skinned people blonde. Now, if you look at it from just the literal meaning, blonde is blonde. No, blonde is just blonde. So if someone calls you blonde, they mean you're stupid. And girls these days are obsessed with stupidity. It is, I honestly have never understood. I don't think I will. And girls are not even trying to take themselves out of it. When someone calls them blonde, they go with it and they're happy. And it is very strange. I've been reading through the comments and they're very funny. People should read them. I can read today because I have a cyber. So when you
also remember the
sorry.
trophy aspect, the trophy wife aspect. When you're blonde, when you're beautiful, you're a trophy. Yeah, because there's nothing that is expected of you. Remember that aspect as well. Just to add on to what you're saying.
Yes, I was actually coming there. There are people who marry. I think everyone has seen a meme that says, "Just get a wife who has a big, a nice nyash and a good face. You will talk in the PTA meetings. You'll just atasaidia watoto kuvuka barabara." We say these things and we say them as if we're joking, but it is what we're telling ourselves. It is what society has made of light-skinned people. So as much as we're talking about bleaching and dark-skinned people, it is not a crime to be light. Fifi is borderline yellow, and it is just how she is, And she's not blonde. She's not blonde. So Noreen said it earlier. Vicky, I don't know if you picked it, but Noreen said light skins and hair and dark skins and content. So society has made us believe that when you're light, you're stupid. When you're dark, you have nguvu ya kwenda shamba. That is why when Ellie will take his very dark wife to the village, atalima huko na apande miwa. But when you take a light skin to the I was gonna give a personal experience, but I won't. Now,
kindly fill us in. Fill us in. I mean, we want more in stories.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space.
This is something someone met me. Someone's mother met me for the first time, and they said that when they saw me, they honestly did not think I can cook. They just thought of me as, those girls will just sit and do nothing. And you know, it is not true. I can cook and do a few other things. But then again, society is just how it's just society. Society will see me and a different girl, me and a dark skinned girl walking, and they'll be like, hey, Ragiata, oh, mwenzako ameweza. What do you think this my friend will pick from this, from this conversation on the road? They'll be like, this one is getting all this attention because their skin is light. So they'll go to River Road. And by it is hectic to need to bleach your skin because now here there are parts of the body that do not bleach. Now you've bleached, and then you have things that are not have not. You have the knuckles that are not bleached. You have your neck that is struggling. You have your legs that are dark. Now you have to stick to wearing trousers and polo necks and hiding your neck. It is just too much work. I think it is better to just be you. Be you. It is the same as applying makeup that does not match. You will not be confident at the end of the day. And I think that the plan was to be confident, to boost your confidence. So if you're worsening it, what's the point really? What's the point, Victoria?
There's no point in it. Honestly, there's no point in it. And you see, like we were talking about skin cancer and all that kind of thing. I mean, somebody also mentioned that it actually can lead to death, and we've seen a lot of people who we've known, even celebrities who have died from these products. Wengine, for some, I'm even surprised that we haven't mentioned this. For some, it's even pills. It's not only the injections, it's not only the scrubs and so on and so forth. Some people actually take pills, and I see Noreen laughing, and I saw what she's laughing at. People take pills, and once they think that they want to be very much lighter, they overdose, and it literally has very, very negative effects on people. Now, as Noreen is laughing, please let us laugh together. Shishwini James said, "Una bleach, una caloria." For somebody who doesn't understand this, she said, "You bleach until you look like a military truck." Honest, oh wow! And then you get patches. You literally get patches on your skin, and a lot of people don't even notice that you actually get. You start having different like Nduko said, there's some places that don't even bleach. I am tempted to think about some other places as well.
Please go ahead and think. I'm liking the thinking.
No. There's some areas that I'm even like, how? But Shishwini James, Susie goes on and says they will bleach and itafika mahali watachoka. That's when they'll look, oh god, ugly. Aki, we don't call people ugly, but this scenario, yeah. There's Sarah and Jojo who says the natural skin color, each one has it easy to maintain if you don't interfere with it. Yes, but if someone decides to bleach, they will have to deal with consequences. The cost of maintaining that look you want is so much high. Jomana unaona watu huko nje wana guy, Aki, y'all are being mean, man. Y'all are really being mean today. It's crazy. But I understand, because at the end of the day, you realize that some people end up looking much, much worse. You see that somebody has shifted from being beautiful. Even for some who are light skinned, they take it a notch higher. You see, so, come on. There is someone who says all those are some people responding to each other. Ellie, you're being told, Ellie, the ladies look dark and beautiful. Ellie, can you please compliment us? Do not wait for people to compliment us, please.
Okay. My ladies, I want to tell you this. That's not the only person who has actually said you're looking beautiful. There's one Bobby here, and I'm trying to find him, who said, wow, warembo, and he was saying good evening to you guys in our language. So Bobby, your greetings have been taken to warembo, and girls, you are looking beautiful. But then again, as we even try to rediscover our beauty, I want to I want to go deeper into the issue to do with the colonization of our minds, and it doesn't have to be from the foreign master, even ourselves. But if you look at it, it didn't just start overnight. It is something that has been systematically put into us, including the adverts that we see. All of a sudden, she's lighter skinned and she's fair, and of course lovely. Very controversial product that actually was a big talk of town, but we are Kenyans and we forget and we move on because that's our African nature. Ladies, around the desk, around the table, let's take your perspective on that product placement that was making trouble. For those who do not know, I'm actually talking about Nice and Lovely. Very racist. Let's go.
Fair and lovely, sweetheart. Fair and lovely.
Fair and lovely.
Fair,
I
fair
take
and
my
lovely.
word. It's fair and
Yes,
lovely.
yes.
Nice and lovely. If you exist, I am sorry about that. This product was fair and lovely. They were telling us when our ladies put this product on them, they become fair, and not just fair, they become lovely. But if you look at it, this so-called fair lady is supposed to be whiter or lighter skinned. Sada, are you fair and lovely, or are you just fair?
I am fair and lovely despite my melanin.
Great.
Yeah. So I think, and it hasn't stopped. I'd say the product placement hasn't stopped. In some adverts, we still see the light ones being portrayed as being fair. So I think what I can say is that the colonial system left a very big dent in us. Apart from product placement, like, let me just bring a perspective. Have you gone to some of the hotels and received a very weird treatment because of being dark? So it has made us tunajidharau, unajua. So tunajidharau, tunajiweka ni kambaye you're dark, you're right under the person who's lighter. And I think this this should stop. Like I saw the challenge that you posted: a black Porsche, a white Porsche. Not many people like white cars. Like black looks more sexy. Black looks beautiful. So fair skin, black skin is also fair skin. Look at Lupita Nyong'o. Look at Zuchu. I like Zuchu because so far to date, I haven't seen the difference in her skin color. Like, she's still the same way she started. So I think it needs to start with the popular figures, because they're the people who make much influence in the society. It needs to start with them. They need to show us. Lupita has shown us you can be black, beautiful, get nominations, and get into the Hollywood scene. Yeah. So why can't I do the same? So in terms of product placement, we should have a voice as Kenyans. We see such an advert, we should just outright speak against it. Nowadays, we have social media, such a powerful tool. So I think we should utilize it to trump this colorism thing. It's not really a good thing.
Let me thank you, Sarah, on those, and let me take Nyanduko on this. Nyanduko, you are in the entertainment industry at a wider spectrum, and we realize every time you guys have to do casting, you will notice that they will put the lighter or the fair light kind of cast with the main roles to play. And those ones who have some interesting faces, like some of us, will take the basic adverts. I remember there's this advert we were doing for a bank in Kenya. And when we did the advert, I think I was not so handsome by then. But they put me to be the guy that was riding the bicycle. I don't know if they were defining me from where I come from or how I was looking. And there was this guy that I thought I was more, um, I was doing the role delivery better than him, but he took the main cast. We ended up not shooting the advert either way, but still, how does that come into play? The tone of your skin when you guys are doing casting and adverts for that matter.
No, that is, I mean, a very nice question, Ellie. Now, first, when you're when they are casting, because I've been casted on shows before, for you to get a role of a slay queen, a pretty lady, you have to look some type of way. And they say it in the description when they're casting, they say we want a light skinned petite girl, you know, they say it. And I don't know what this says about it. Was an issue some time back because girls were complaining that where do you want these light skinned girls to come from? Because we are in Kenya, this is Africa. We're supposed to have our melanin intact. So you're forcing girls to go bleach because even for alcohol brand ambassadors, they want light skinned girls unless you're doing, let me not mention a brand, but unless you're doing, there's one type of alcohol that actually takes dark skinned girls. The rest they want light and petite. Now for TV adverts, there's a time we went for casting, a good number of us, and there are people who were casted for people who were casted for Get Men. Now they were not casted for Get Men because they couldn't do the rest of the advert. They were probably more talented than the people who were casted to do the major roles. But these other people, because someone is biracial, has the nice curly hair, now you want to give them the nice roles. Look at this advert. Look at the people who do advertisement here, Sabuni. People who do advertisement here, nice smelling colognes. People who do advertisements, the banks. And then look at people who do advertisement here, Crown Paint. People, people who do advertisement here, insecticides, Mortin Doom. And then look at it is just it is not a laughing matter because you go
How
on
about a
set
nice car? Who advertises a nice car?
and then and then someone else is advertising a Porsche, and then there's someone else who's doing radio Kisima, sijui radio nini, sijui nini, Mulembe FM, and then you look at the people who are doing these adverts, and then they cast people. Ama when they're casting people for a soko scene, senior sokoni, what kind of women do they get to do the sokoni roles? Ama when they got that serikali's idea, they did not stop using that lady because she looked some type of way and she was selling a certain idea to society. And people say that when you cast a light-skinned person for a poor role, it does not look believable. But look at it from the societal point of view. Are you trying to tell me that light-skinned people are not struggling? Are you trying to say that once you're light-skinned, your troubles will just magically disappear and you'll become rich? That is not the case. But society, and I like what Sada said, that the colonialism that took place is so embedded in our minds that we do not even realize when you're doing this, because we are selling the same agenda that we are talking against. We're here talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm a strong Black woman. But when we come to casting these strong Black women, we want to cast them for security guard roles. I don't know what ideas we're driving.
As we try to figure that out,
The
let
comments
me
are
ask
so nice.
Noreen. Let me ask Noreen. And Noreen, I know you love photos, but how often do you take photos with Black kids? By Black kids, I mean really dark-skinned kids. Have you ever walked to a room of a nursery and you find newly borns, and then you notice everybody wants to take a photo with the more light-skinned kid, and they are all blacks?
Okay, let me respond to this. Like today, there's a student. It was a new student. So this boy, like I just fell in love with this small boy. He's dark, nilikuwa namwangalia ndamleka kiunakaa poa, yani, and this boy got attracted to me. Like, he's new, and because of his stubbornness, I already knew his name. Like, your name, like, and he was like, okay, teacher, how did you know my name? And now he gets more attracted to me. Like, mi nilimpenda. And if anything, me, I would go for dark, because now, like, okay, can you just see this boy is handsome? Can you see that? Can you just see the, like, dark, And me, by the way, I don't, okay, see it is sipendi light skinned guys or whatever, but you just look at some things unasema yenyewe hii nimetoka kwa Mungu, and that is why I'm saying, like, we really need to appreciate people the way they are. Like, the moment unaonesha, hey manze, you look good, confidence inapanda, hata saiki ya kusoma inarudi, because umeshawambia, hey manze, you look good, manze. Like, you've already shown them how handsome they are. You've already shown them how intelligent they are. Like, mtoto, like, if it's for a kid, atapata tu confidence, like, self-esteem will be high, and the performance will be also at a good level, So for me, I don't discriminate, because I work with kids. I don't discriminate kids at all, because anyone that comes to me, that is my role, to make sure that every kid that is around me is comfortable. And for me to do that, I need to show love to every child that comes in contact with me. So your story, Ati, because you are light, now I want to take a selfie with you. One thing, I don't take selfies with children in school. It's not a good thing, because most parents are they don't really want their kids to be all over social media. So that is something I wouldn't do, even if it's maybe for a niece or a nephew, that, okay, niko na weusi, niko na weupe, but what should I do? I should show them equal love. So
Fine.
my
Thank you, Noreen. I'll have to mute you for a second. Now, you have talked about that, and I love the whole perspective you're giving into it. But I want to bring you back to what Saddam mentioned, and in fact, it's something that I did during the week. I posted two nice SUVs, and they were Porsches, I suppose, or Jaguars, yeah. And one was white, the other one was black. And I asked a couple of people, what car would you choose? Some of them were saying none, but that was not supposed to be the answer. You had to choose one. And even those that chose one, they ended up choosing black, which stood out for me. And I'm asking this question. We all want light skinned, this and this and that. But when we go now to the society setting, we hear stories such as, and this one, I think Sada will relate very well with it, that mwembe ni hatari sana wakati umeota na maembe yake yameanza kulegealegea na umepandwa barabarani, meaning it will attract a lot of people. A mango tree, especially that is by the roadside, the owner will never have peace of mind. This translates now to the relationship matters, such that people feel insecure when they marry light-skinned ladies, or they marry the Akina Brayo Kevos who are perceived to be light-skinned, and therefore they end up choosing black. So what does that in essence state, Sada?
So I'd say that actually says, okay, let me just want to put it in later words. It says that, so this black lady hakuna mali ataenda, huyu ni wangu, lakini huyu rangi ya tao atakuwa wa maboys watakuwa na mmezea mate.
Welfare Association
kabisa, maboys watakuwa na mmezea mate. So in essence, someone with that kind of thinking, they should ask themselves, are you marrying the color? Are you marrying the character?
But
right?
again, as you say that, I do not disagree. But what does it, in essence, reflect about the dark skin color, which we are so hard trying to run away from, but eventually we run back to because it's more, you know.
So it associates the dark color as it's like a protecting factor. I'd say that.
Mm-hmm.
A protecting factor. You protect you're less likely to be heartbroken if you have a darker girl compared to a lighter girl. I would
Yeah.
say that.
Okay. So Noreen has another show that she has to attend before this. And Noreen, you want to give your closing remark before we ask you to leave us with some further notes?
Yeah. Like I really loved this topic, and
Mm.
I just want to thank everyone that came to this show. I'm really grateful that you've made it to come here. Thank you so much to Nyanduko, Eli, Seda, and Nkata. Me, by the way, as I told you earlier on, if you are planning to bleach, please save that money, save that energy. Look for something else that is constructive for you to do, because ikitu, it is not reversible. So just be who you are, maintain your color, utakujiwa tu, hata ukue mweusi kama makaa. There is someone that will really love you venye uko. Again, I also noticed that even there are some ladies who go ahead and pray, like anaenda anaambia God, mimi I just want to be light skinned. Jamani, that is where God decided to put you. And He had a purpose for you to be where you are, for you to have that skin, because your skin iko important place ingine. Kama uja realize saizi, it will come later on and you will come to appreciate it later. So do not spend that amount of money going to River Road, going to, getting, like, you try to get information from social media and everywhere that you really want to change your skin color. So just remain the way you are, and you are beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much. God bless Sana, and please remember to share this. And let us meet next Friday. Thank you.
Noreen has left because she has some other duties to attend to, but we keep the show going. And for those ones who may teach a number, Noreen, we've sent it on the screen. She is Noreen Ambata on Facebook. And of course, she's an ECD educator and a counselor with Matters Children. Now, Vicky, you left the screen and we were talking about the light complexion girls. And we noticed as much as we run away from these dark ones, we always come back to them because apparently they are perceived not so wife material. They are a trophy, like you put it before. The light skinned, they are looked as trophies. When you want to go out to meet your friend somewhere in a pub or something, you will take your light skinned girlfriend. But once it comes to, when matters hit rubber and road, it becomes the black wife can stay home. Why is this? Does it in any way indicate that we must learn to accept who we are, especially the dark skinned? I'm very particular about the dark skin.
Yes, we do. We absolutely have to accept who we are. But let's. I'm about to be very very blunt and say something that really is the truth, and we might not be able to say it in other situations. Now, number one, no, Nyanduko said this respectfully earlier on, and she stated that light skinned girls, and not only light skinned girls, but girls in general, have started moving away from wanting to have something up here, but they just want to look good and be nice and seem. You know what? at since men are now liking the big assets and the light skin, what am I going to invest in? The assets and the light skin. Why should I pay to go to school if I'm not, my school and my education is not going to be worth anything and not going to get me a man either way? Number two, the darker skinned girls have no other option. So for instance, if I don't have 15,000, or I'm not willing to pay 15,000 to go on and pay for my skin, what am I going to do? I'm going to invest in myself in other ways, because already the dark skinned girl feels like, hey, I cannot miss out on everything. I cannot miss out on being quote unquote beautiful and a trophy wife. And I cannot miss out on being the character lady and so on and so forth. Sadly, we have the if it's not this, then it's this. If it's not this, it's not it's this and that and that. So the thing is that at the end of the day, we need to learn how to appreciate ourselves. I can definitely be beautiful. I can be gorgeous. I can be that trophy, but I can still have that character. I can still have that brainiest mindset. I can still have it all. I don't have to choose between this and that. And I don't have to waste my time simply because I'm trying to impress a man out there by the standards that they have set for me, simply because I want to get a man. If it getting a man, and the funny thing is that they always come back to the character, the behavior, and so on and so forth. Listen, whether you're light skin or dark skin, it does not matter. Invest in yourself, love yourself as you are, and make sure that you have all the qualities that you want to have. Do not look at society's ladies and think that being a trophy and being a dunderhead is what is fun and what will get you out there and what will get you the attention. In the long run, it is not. It is not gonna get you anywhere. And at the end of the day, this world is you better be you better work for yourself, or you're not going to get anywhere, because in the long run some things are not going to give. In the long run, some things are not going to, you really are going to be alone. You really are going to be there, and you really are going to have to stand for yourself. So at the end of the day, you can't be everything that you want to be. Imaneno ya light skin are the trophy wives and the dunderheads. Dark skin are the wife materials, but you have to keep her at home simply because she does not look pretty in terms of society. It's not a this or that. You are pretty, you're beautiful, and you're gorgeous, and you deserve every single thing that this world has for you. Do not be lied to that simply because you're light skinned, you have to be stupid. No, you can be light skinned and you can be smart as hell. I mean, look at Noreen. I'm telling you, look at Noreen. I don't have to be dark skinned and be and be have to look like I only have wife material skills and I have the character. No, I am pretty as hell. Do y'all see this? Are you looking at this? Yes. I'm just telling you for free. There is no in between. There's no this or that. There's no this or that. It's not this or that. It's everything. Package yourself very well in every single quality, every single aspect, and carry yourself as a true gift that you are. Even for men, you don't have to be light skinned and then stupid and then dark skinned and you're the one who's packaging. No, come on, it's not a this or that. It's everything. I'm investing in who I am. I'm confident in who I am, and I'll carry myself with pride because that's who I am. And that's why we have the brown skin girl, we have the melanin, we have, and that's why it's so important. I asked this question before. Why is it important? It's simply because people have now made it this and that situation, but it doesn't have to be. You are and you can be every single thing that you want to be in your skin and in the comfort of who you are.
Victoria Mkata has spoken. Nyanduko, how then do we, even as actually Victoria already laid the ground, but how then do we compete in this market that is consistently now inviting light-skinned persons to become the show of the day? How do we compete as a dark-skinned?
Now, you cut out your niche, you build on your stronghold. Look at Yvonne Okwara. I have used her like 4 or 5 times today because That lady is dark. She's the beautiful. She's beautiful, and she has brains. And before you even think about replacing Yvonne Okwara, who are you gonna get? I mean, who are you bringing? Because she has, we want to come here and do activism and talk about the fact that we want dark skins we want to be represented as dark people, but we're not putting in the work. You've not cut out any niche for yourself. You're not good at anything. You just want to come here and say black is beautiful, and you've not put in the work. You just want to be taken because you're dark. Now you want to get a job because I am dark now. Brown girls have been getting this for a long time now. It's the dark girls time. No problem. But what do you have to offer? What are you bringing to that table? If you have your content marked out, you can speak. You're eloquent in your words. You are confident, and it shows. And confidence comes along with levels of beauty that words cannot explain. Because now you're out here and you think because you're dark, now you're not pretty enough. Just because one person came to your comment section and said, go to River Road, now you want that one person to define who you want to be as a person. But if you have your content, you know who you are as a person, you know what you want to achieve at the end of the day. Whatever this someone who typed from their bedsitter in, whatever typed, is not going to affect you because okay, now let's talk facts. What do you have to offer? What are you bringing to this particular table? So we cut out our niche as Black girls, and we prove that Black is actually beautiful. Black is intelligent. Black has so much. Black is resilient. Black does not crack. It actually does not crack in all essence of the word crack. Black is just, it is durable, it is strong. But now you want to come out here and tell us that because I'm dark, just give me a job because please put in the work, come with your content, come with your papers, go to all hizo levels zote za masomo mpaka zenye watu wajaenda. Because come here, I'm a doctor of psychology, Victoria. So what are you gonna offer me? What is the new thing you're gonna tell me? Before you tell me about skin lightening, let's talk about what did you do? What's your salary? What do you earn? Just have your facts right. Have your niche mapped out. Before anyone comes and takes Yvonne Okwara's position, it will be forever, because there's never going to be another Yvonne Okwara, because she is who she is. And there are other journalists. I'm talking about journalists and the industry because that is where I am. There are there are actors. There's Lupita. I mean, she has chosen a path that you will not have any other Lupita. You will not have any other. Rubebi, who Akothe's child, Rubebi. That girl is unapologetically Black. She is. Now you want to be here and you want to live like an apology. You are apologizing to people for being dark. Why? Who said you want to come here and listen to keyboard warriors? Someone is saying keyboard warriors because they come and comment on your photo and tell you are too Black. So what? You want some of this Black magic? You want some of it? So Black people, Black girls, we should cut out our niche and have your facts, so that when you're speaking the way Nyanduko is speaking, your confidence is at 2,000. And before someone comes and tells you anything, they actually know what they're coming to talk about. So?
Exactly. I'm just going to emphasize on that. Sorry, Ellie, because listen, this is, let me tell you, somebody, I was just reading some comments and I'm just like, I'm about to come at you. First of all, number one, don't you think that light-skinned lady gets jobs or work more easily than darker one? Sometimes good package is not enough. Okay, no, listen. More easily, yes. However, like Nyanduko just stated, it's not about good packaging being enough. It's how you present yourself, to be honest. I live somewhere that is very, very hard, especially not only in terms of colorism, but in terms of racial discrimination as well. However, I can tell you that I'm thriving in where I am, not because I there are no challenges, but simply because how you carry yourself. If you constantly have the excuse of the lighter skin will get more than I do, then you will be placing yourself at a disadvantage. The mentality of, yes, they're doing this because I'm feeling sorry for myself. Do not feel sorry for yourself. Walk, you're good at this, and you walk in confidence and you say, you know what, even if you tell me no, I will still keep on trying. This is what we're going into in terms of discussing colorism. We should not contribute towards colorism by even being the victims. Let us take away even the fact that there are people who look down on us, but we also contributed to, oh my God, this lighter skin babe, this lighter skin guy has gotten this and that. No, 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 no. If I'm qualified, if I'm good, I will definitely fight and push towards what I deserve. It's not about sitting down and sulking simply because there are opportunities that are harder for you. Yes, it's hard, but trust me, life is not easy either way. Nyanduko even stated light-skinned people also go through struggles. Look at it as one of the things that you have to go through and work towards moving over that challenge. But one of the things that we do a lot is sit down and sulk over situations simply because I can't do it. Some of us even go to the extent of giving up on our dreams, giving up on the things that we can do, regardless of the fact that we have seen people break through those barriers, and we seem as if we don't want the struggle. Everything is a struggle, to be honest. Everything is a struggle. But once the barriers that we're going to break in colorism, and when we look at colorism as well, is by looking at it as, listen, I'm a Black lady and I've been able to achieve this, and I can be able to inspire other young Black ladies, other young Black people, and even the older Black people to be able to break these barriers. That way we contribute ourselves towards barrier breaking as well. And now we realize that all of a sudden it's not about colorism, it's about who you are and what you can be able to offer. We contribute so much towards colorism simply because we're afraid of walking against the challenges. But unless you take that step and decide, you know what, even if somebody has not, even if we didn't have a Lupita, even if we didn't have a Rubaby, what is stopping me from being that Rubaby? I'm telling you, sometimes I even look at it and I wonder how in God's name is my content not out there, up there, and I look at somebody who's lighter skin and I'm seeing that what they're doing is probably not even that meaningful. And I'm like, you know what? Fine, well and good. Then let me be the first one. Let me be the first one to do this. That is how I'm contributing towards breaking this light skin versus dark skin, because at the end of the day, children are gonna come. Young ladies are gonna be born, more and more of them. Young men are gonna be born, more and more of them. And what makes me be able to break the bridge and bridge the gap is for me to be able to step up and say, I can see that there's this problem. What am I doing to contribute towards stopping the problem, towards solving the problem? That is what we're doing right here in Art and Heart. So for everybody that is watching, be the barrier breaker, be the person who is also contributing towards breaking those chains and breaking those colorism situations. If you have a company right now, I can see some people in the audience who I know have companies. Make it a point of, if you're gonna work in my company, I'm gonna employ based off of your qualifications, not of your skin. And if I'm gonna see that people of certain skin type, and I'll definitely go out and look for somebody who's darker. I like what Ellie is doing. Ellie brings us guests of all sorts, colors, sizes, and whatnot, simply because it's not about your color. It's not about looking pretty on camera. It is about being able to bring content to the show. It's about bringing something tangible to us, and that's what we need to be doing as individuals. So what are you doing to contribute towards colorism and stopping colorism?
Well, I think we just had a life-changing speech. And if we had the Martin Luther Kings of this world, they will say they have a dream that one day we will be judged not by the color of our skins, but the content of our character. Sada, do you think this is a dream we can achieve?
It is very, very achievable. Thank you, Nyanduko. Thank you, Victoria. You have just laid it bare. So once you package yourself, you can see there's so many Black people who are doing good things in this world. Who knew that sanitary towels were actually developed by a Black woman? Yeah, Mary developed sanitary towels. I didn't know about it till 2 weeks back, actually. Then I was like, whoa, and we don't mention. Who I'm sure it's not quite out there that one of the designers of the current COVID-19 vaccine is actually a Black African American doctor, Dr. Kezia. Who knew? So I think we need to push the narrative of, for those who have been able to break the barrier, we need to front them. Because if we don't front them, now the African girl child or boy doesn't have examples to learn from. So it is possible to break barriers. Know your niche, work on it, and for sure, nothing comes easy. Anything that comes easy goes easy, but success, you have to work on it. And we have so many examples. It's only that I'd kind of bring a point of we don't tend to showcase what is good in us. The white people do. They have homelessness. Kuna homelessness kama Kenya, but tukionyesha picha za Kenya, it's Kibera, street boys. We have beautiful places, beautiful people. We should always focus on showcasing our strengths so that the children and the teenagers who are right behind us can actually learn, oh, Victoria, she's a Kenyan, she's in a certain country and she's making it there. Why can't I make it, even if it's from here, Kenya? What is she doing that's different that I can learn from, right? So we need to have that idea of fronting ourselves. We need to be visible, basically. You're not visible, we won't know about you, right? Yeah.
Let's get this right. Thank you, Sada. And I'm going to read a few things here that probably, as you say, we do not get told. And if we get told, they are whitewashed. So that you know. I would want you to know the inventors of the following things. There is the air conditioning unit was invented by Frederick M. Jones in 1949, a Black. There is the baby buggy was invented by William H. Richardson in 1889, also a Black man. Then there is the what we call the egg beater, you know, the thing that beats the egg and all that kind of stuff, was invented by Willie Johnson in 1884, supposed to be a Black. Then we have the hairbrush. The hairbrush, you know, they like doing their hair like this and then they arrange it. It was actually discovered by a Black, rather invented by a Black person. So the list goes on and on and on. And even the ice cream scoop, which a lot of Africans don't get to eat, the ice creams, was invented by a Black person. Did you know that the guitar was actually also invented by a Black person called Robert F. Fleming Jr. in 1886? So young Black women and men of the world and the earth, I need you to realize you have much more to offer. Your skin tone does not define your capabilities. Either lighter skinned or darker skinned, you are special in your own way. Not special because you have some handicap in you. You're special because you can change this world. So let us go out there. Let us be the difference that we want to see in the world. And more importantly, remember, hakuna kitu mzuri kama hii rangi. Some of us never struggle with the sun. The only thing that I happened to me, actually, once I'm back in the sun, and this is for people that have met me, I become a little bit more darker skinned, and I love it because I don't have to struggle and go to the sauna bank.
Solarium.
Yes, yes. Here they call it zona bank. So sometimes I interuse the words, but you'll excuse me. So what am I trying to say out here? For all those ladies that you're struggling with your skin color, trying to be better than the other ones, including the effects that you're using everywhere on Instagram. You're using them everywhere on make minimal changes. Of course, we like you beautiful, but we love you even more natural. We love you more natural. That's my sign out piece to the rest of the ladies. And of course, we have beautiful ladies on board tonight. We have Sada Binti Mwatela, who is actually sitting and preparing her candidature for PhD. Welcome on board, and thank you for coming and honoring this request to be with us tonight. Victoria Nkatha, what can I say about you? Speaker, life coach, business analyst, and all those lists go on and on and on. But that is what Victoria Nkatha is, and of course, our content director. Thank you for coming tonight. I have Nyanduko. She speaks for herself. Welcome, Miss Nyanduko.
I was waiting for you to watch the introduction of myself. Now, I am a teacher, I'm a content creator, I'm a counselor, I'm an actor. What else? What else? And so on. I'm a firstborn daughter. I'm so many things in one. So I was gonna say that package yourself in a way that before someone thinks of seeing your skin color, they are mesmerized at what you're bringing to that particular sitting. You know, when people, the first thing people see is your skin color, it says so much about what you brought to that table. Go revisit your content and look at it properly. Maybe you brought nothing and people had a lot of time to look at you. But if you have things to say, people will be amazed at your brain. By the time they realize, something is not how they think it should be, you've made your way, paved way for yourself, and you've gone to higher routes. So it was a beautiful show. Thank you guys for sticking with us. And I'm happy when I see that we are, we're getting the comments on and off. Oh, and also, please keep being on Snapchat. Forget Ellie. If it makes you happy, at the end of the day, you have to post photos. You remember I just told you, please post a photo that you're comfortable with. If Ellie loves you natural, that is his business. How do you love yourself? Just don't bleach. If you're using an app, just don't bleach. So. But all other things, increase your eyes, increase your bam bam. When you meet, we will explain. So have a good night. God bless.
Okay, guys, that was awesome too. Any parting shots before I lock anybody out? Any parting shots?
Yangu ni machache ya kusema ya kwamba exactly, guys. But anyway, thank you so much for being part of the show. This was amazing. It's such an important topic, and as I usually do, I will run you down what we have in store for you this month. We have a 4-part series of the discrimination series. We're dealing on matters colorism. Next week, we're going to have tribalism. We're going to have gender discrimination. And then the content director forgot the last part. Anywho, we have a 4-part series. And
I gave up on you.
I just, I came with so much heat, yeah, and you'd have expected, bam, bam, bam on points, but I was on point for the 3. Anywho, guys, do not forget to Follow us on all our social media accounts at The Arts in Hearts. That is capital T, capital A, capital H on YouTube, and Likuyani Eli on Facebook, and all our various social media platforms. Nyanduko254 everywhere on the social media accounts. Victoria_Nkatha and responding_to life on all social media platforms. And please do not forget Teacher Noreen on all social media platforms, and also visit us on our send us an email on our email address, which is showing right below, theartsinhearts@gmail.com. Please do not forget to let us know if you have any topics that you'd like us to discuss. Please share them with us on our Facebook page or on our email address. And with that said, my own changu chamusha kusema, because I talk a lot, is that love yourself as you are. Self-confidence is everything. It's everything. There's nothing that speaks more than confidence. The most beautiful form of makeup that you can have is your smile and your confidence. So do not forget to keep that. Even for you men, there's nothing that shines brighter than your confidence and your smile. And trust me, you will go a long way. Be confident in your skill set. Do not look at your skin color and start discriminating against yourself. Look at who you are, your skill set, your capabilities, your potential, what you can be able to achieve, because that is what God has placed in you, and that is what will speak for you come rain, come shine. It is not your skin color, because go to some other places, there are people who are darker than you. Go to some other places, there are people who are lighter than you. It's not about short, tall, dark, light, whatever. What speaks for you is what you're capable of and how you carry what you're capable of. So love you, God bless you, and see you next week.
Of course, see you next week. I've been your host, Likuyani Eli, and that is Nyanduko254. We had Saddam Watela all the way from Canada. And as I say, kesho pia ni siku. And for those who've been following this page and the rest, you know that every Sunday I bring you the bathroom edition. So do join me there as we speak more about how things go in the bathroom edition. And of course, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we have the late night talk with yours truly, Likuyani Eli. In case you missed it, this is how it went. After this, have a good night and God bless you.
Mwanamke akikuchukia anakuweka hapa rohoni, na akikupenda pia anakuweka ndani kabisa. Unaona, utampa mwanamke kila kitu, utamfanyia kila kitu, hata ukamjengea magorofa, umpe nini, lakini mwisho wa siku mwanamke atafika mahali atakwambia, you know what, mimi sijawahi kupenda na sitakupenda, nampenda mtu fulani.
I have done everything possible to just get this guy to get the relationship working.
Am I the person supposed to be looking for you?
Mm-hmm.
You need to talk, you know.
Unampigia simu leo, hashiki simu, kesho hashiki simu, ama labda akishika mnaongea kidogo anakuambia, oh, ngoja nifanye nini, ni receive simu ya mtu mwingine. Unaona,
kama we agreed on the projects I have, and I have my own money. I have no problem yeye kuchip in whatever he has. Kama anataka, si ati I'm forcing him to do that.
Another thing that I'm trying to figure it out is the ego thing, where men and ego, if you ruin a man's ego, then you are not in that relationship. That's something I'm also learning. You have to protect a man's ego.
Nipende nilivyo, baby, nipende mimi nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, baby, baby.